Death takes no holiday on the Memorial Day weekend. In the first of two record air crashes, a DC-4 transport attempting to take off from LaGuardia Field is the victim of a freak wind change. Failing to get off, the plane ground loops and rolls out of control into a rain-filled ditch alongside the airport. The improvised morgue in an aeronautical school holds some of the 41 who perished in the flaming wreckage. Hurtling along at nearly 100 miles an hour, the four-engine monster seals its doom. Pathetic belongings are reminders of the Cleveland-bound vacationers. The crash opens a weekend that took 480 lives. Less than 24 hours later, this wooded section of northern Maryland is mowed down as though by a giant reaper as it forms the death trap for another sky transport. Here, all previous air disaster records are eclipsed as 53 persons, 49 passengers and 4 crew members die when another DC-4 plunges to earth with a crash that shakes the countryside for 5 miles around. Parts of the Miami-bound plane are strewn over a quarter-mile area. A tail assembly is said to have broken off in the air. Destruction is completed by an explosion, which hurls debris for hundreds of yards in every direction. A grim holiday's end.
The silent rows of dead mark the bloody beachhead that was Anzio. 7,419 strong, they are honored on Memorial Day. Civilians and military are present. Ambassador James Dunn represents the United States at the ceremonies on Decoration Day. He lays a wreath at the statue. Here, a few short years ago, lives were the price of an all-important bit of land. And on this day, General Lee pays his tribute to comrades who died because an intolerable burden had been laid on the world. These are but a few of the mourners of the Anzio dead. They live to remember always, and on this day, their dead are honored by all. The families of the beachhead soldiers have often come from afar. Their grief is spent on dearly bought ground. Memorial Day at Anzio, hallowed forever in American memory. Polish girls arrive at Montreal, Canada in a post-war labor experiment by a Canadian industrialist. The girls are part of a group of 100 who will work in a rayon mill at Saint-Georges-de-Beauce, where they will receive the Dominion's minimum wage of $12 a week. The displaced girls, brought from Frankfurt, will be taught the rayon spinning process and are under contract for 2 years, during which time they'll be lodged in a convent school. Here they will pay $6.50 of their wages for board and lodging. They at least are no longer among Europe's wanderers. On the reverse side, the steamship Radnik waits at Montreal to repatriate 500 Yugoslavs who prefer to try life under Tito. They're not leaving empty-handed. Among them, they have pooled $1 million for the purchase of some rather exclusive commodities. Whether or not life in the Western Hemisphere has been congenial, it is certain that their toil has been rewarded. And so these people return to a native land changed by war and ideology.
$52,000 racing fans are jam-packed into the stands at Belmont for the 79th running of the Belmont Stakes. The best 3-year-olds in the land are entered in this grueling mile-and-a-half classic. The crowd is ready, and they're off! Closely bunched, the 9 thoroughbreds show their liking for today's track, which is dry and fast. No matter how you look at it, this is one of the races of the year. Tide Rips is taking the lead. Brevenson is second, Faultless is fifth, and Phalanx is last. In the backstretch, Brevenson takes the lead. Faultless edges up, and the tension mounts. Roaring into the home stretch, Brevenson is still battling with Tide Rips, Ladies Ace, Young Peter, and Phalanx. Class is beginning to tell, and Phalanx, the disappointing season-long favorite, at long last moves out to take command. his loss of the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness are forgotten as he wins this richest of all Belmont Stakes. Phalanx and Jockey Donoso, a pair of champions who hit the jackpot by winning the season's greatest race. As usual, Indianapolis is the Memorial Day Mecca for America's auto race fans as 30 hopeful starters give their cars last-minute tune-ups for the 500-mile grind, which carries the American speed crowd. Here is a Mercedes, once built for Hitler, but like him, it failed to finish the race when the going got tough. Now they're whirling through the first lap with plenty more to come. During the early stages, they feel out each other's speed and jockey for position. From now on, not only speed, but stamina counts. The real contenders are beginning to stiffen the pace and are settling down for the duel of nerves that takes the average speed up to 120 miles an hour during the first 100 miles. But tragedy lurks on the southwest turn. Shorty Cantlawn crashes into the wall and is killed instantly as the race whirls dizzily past his smashed car. For the first time since 1939, the classic claims a life. The Chicago driver, a veteran, once placed second in the event. A short time later, disaster again looms. Jackson skids to the wall, trying to avoid rolling Free, and for a moment the drivers are brushing wings with death. But only Free is eliminated from the race. Once again, during the mad pace, Van Acker and Russo tangle, and for a split second it looks like curtains as they spin all over the track in the path of speeding competitors. But it's one of those things they walk away from in disgust. Both are out of the race. These are the payoff laps, the last few laps that test men and machines. Here experience is beginning to tell. Maury Rose, Chicago veteran, takes command. And he is over, a winner by 32 seconds in one of the most thrilling races in the history of the Classic.